text file, information will store in ASCII format, whereas in binary file, it stores how exactly in the memory it will stores, that is in zeros and ones. Get function helps to input a single character, whereas getline function helps to input entire line of text. If it is ASCII format, then getline, put. If it is binary format, read and write. EOF function is used to detect the end of the file, whether we are reached end or not. Welcome back to one and all. Myself, Vasanta, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today, we want to start with third session of data file handling. Whereas in the previous session, you have studied opening and closing of a file, how to open a file and how to close a file, under opening a file by using constructor method and one more by using open function method. In constructor method, how to open the file, as well as by using open function, how to open a file. Then the concept of file modes, that is for which purpose we are opening the file, whether for input purpose or for output purpose, whether in binary format, for which purpose exactly we are opening the file, that deals on file modes. Then how to close the file, syntax as well as example you have studied. Whereas on today's class, you will come to know regarding input-output operations in the text file. Whereas in the files, I told you there are two types, text file as well as binary file. Whereas in text file, information will stored in ASCII format, whereas in binary file, information will stored in the binary format. Whereas how exactly input-output operations can be performed in a text file, and input-output operations, especially in string input-output functions, that is for in the string, how exactly it will perform. Then input-output operation in binary file. In binary file, that is read and write operation, how exactly it will perform, how to write the syntax for that. Then how to detecting end of the file, how to identify the end of the file. Then file pointers and their manipulations, that is get pointer, put pointer, how exactly it will work. Then the basic operations on binary file. Regarding that, you will come to know on today's sessions. Under that, first one, input-output operations in the text file. Already I told you, in a file, there are two types. One is text file and one more is in binary file. In text file, information will store in ASCII format, whereas in binary file, it stores how exactly in the memory it will stores, that is in zeros and ones. If it is a text file, how exactly input as well as output operations can be performed. Under that, we have first one, put functions. What is the use of this put function? Whereas put, when it comes, then here it uses member function of stream class. Especially this put function belongs to OF stream class for output purpose here. It writes a single character to the stream associated. Here this is mainly used to print a single character. 2 points to remember. The first point, here this put function belongs to OF stream class, and here this helps to write a single character here. Or I can say to print a single character, we need this put function. While writing the syntax, first you have to write of stream object dot put. Dot put, inside the bracket I am to write ch, whereas ch is a character constant. Here if you observe the example, char ch equals a we are given, that means a is the character, and here of stream f out text.dat is the file. Here if you observe here, f out dot put ch we are written, that means here f out is the object, dot put function we are using, inside the bracket ch, whereas ch for that variable we assign it as a is the character. That means this helps to print the character a here. Main thing you have to remember, it belongs to OF stream class. It helps to print a single character. Then you have to remember the syntax as well as example. Now it's clear. And the next one, get function. Whereas get function, it's a member function of IF stream class. IF stream means input. for reading purpose. It reads single character from the stream associated. First point you have to remember, it belongs to IF stream class. It helps to read, or I can say it as input a single character. If you observe the syntax, first I have to write IF stream object dot get. Inside the bracket, you have to mention the character, that is CH. That means here we are using get function. Helps to input a single character, whereas CH is a character constant. If you observe the example, we are declaring CH is of type character data type. For this, we initialize the value CH equals A. IF stream F in. Here IF stream is the object. F in text file, that is text.dat is a file name. Here F in dot get function we are using. That means for CH it will go to input a single character A here. Whichever character here we return, that character we can able to input here. Whereas if you observe, put function helps to print a single character, whereas get function helps to input a single character. And the next one, getline function. Whereas input and output operation in a text file, especially string functions if I am going to consider, then string is nothing but collection of characters is nothing but a string. If I am going to write A or N anything, then it is a character. It is open as well as closed by single quotes. For example, NAME, if I am going to write name, then it is a string. It is opened as well as closed by double quotes. Whereas in string, which are the functions we can able to perform, like getline function. Whereas getline function helps to input, or I can say it as read entire line of text. Whereas get function helps to input a single character, whereas getline function helps to input entire line of text. Whereas input means here it belongs to IF stream class. It is used to read whole line of text, entire line of text we can able to input here, or input is nothing but read operation. Output is nothing but write operation. Whereas under read operations, whatever thing data we are input, the computer will perform read operation. Whereas under output, we are reading, but computer what exactly it will doing? It will performing write operation. Whereas it belongs to IF stream class. Whereas if you observe get function, I told you input. Input means IF stream, here it belongs to. The syntax for that, F in getline buffer comma size. This is the syntax to represent getline function. For example, char book size here we are given. Then F stream, F in dot getline function. This is an example. Here, how much size you want, you can declare that book. Then book is the string name here. Then getline function we are using. Only two things you have to remember. One is getline helps to input or read entire line of text. Whereas get function helps to input single character. Whereas get as well as getline both belongs to IF stream class. The next one, write function, that is input output operation, especially in binary file. Whereas if you observe here, all the three, that is put function, then get function as well as getline functions, all these three are used when we have ASCII format. The files, if it is in ASCII format, that is in American Standard Code for Information Interchange, on that format, there we are using all these three. But read as well as write both are used when the file, especially in binary format, that is input output operation in binary file, there are two types. One is write and one more is write. Whereas read helps to perform read or input the data, especially in binary format. Whereas write function helps to print or write the character, especially in binary format. Whereas write member function, here this member function belongs to OF stream class. Output means OF stream class. And it writes binary data to the file. Both read as well as write, both are used when it is in binary format. In binary format, we are using these two. If it is in ASCII format, then getline. With that put function we are using. Getline put function. This when it is in ASCII format. Whereas here it helps to read the data, especially in binary format. Here it helps to write the data, especially in binary format. Whereas this belongs to IF stream class, whereas write function belongs to OF stream class. Here also, if you observe, write member function belongs to OF stream class and it writes binary data to the file. Then while writing the syntax, fout object write char, that star operator, that address, then ampersand variable, size of variable. This is the syntax. Here we are written one example, fout write char, whereas ampersand yes represent the variable, size of yes. This is a syntax to represent write function. Whereas when you come on input as well as output, that is IF stream class as well as OF stream class. In both here get function, get line function, then read function. Whereas here in OF stream put function, that is print, then read function belongs to IF stream, here write function. Whereas read as well as write when it is in binary format. Whereas these three when it is in ASCII format. Now is it clear? It means that here we can able to use write function to print the data, especially in binary format. Next one, same input output operation in binary file. There we have read function. Already I told you write as well as read. Whereas read function, member function belongs to OF stream class. If you observe here, read function belongs to IF stream class. Next here, if you observe here, it reads binary data from a file. Especially here for reading purpose, read the data in binary format. The syntax is fn, that is object, read char star. Here ampersand variable, size of variable. This is the syntax to read the data, especially in binary format. And if you observe the example, fn read char star ampersand yes, size of yes, whereas s represent the variable. These are the few input-output operations. If it is ASCII format, then getline, put. If it is binary format, read and write. Next, we will move on to how to detect the end of the file. How to identify the file is now it is ended. That can be performed by reading contents of the file should not cross the content of the end file here. And IOS class provides a member function EOF. EOF stands for end of file function here to detect the end of the file. How we are detecting? By using EOF function, we can able to detect or identify this is the end of the file. EOF returns false or 0 if end of the file does not occur. Here, when I am going to write EOF function, on that time if it is not reaches to the end, then it will return false. If it is reaches end of the file, then it will going to return true here. To execute the statement on reaching end of the file, the following syntax is written. See, if fin.eof, then statement whether it's a true or false. Then to execute statement as long as end of the file is not reached, following syntax is used. That is while not equals to or not of fin.eof function, then write on the statement. That means EOF function is used to detect the end of the file, whether we are reached end or not. If we reached end of the file, then it will return true. If we not reached end of the file, then it will return false here. Now is it clear? That means by this way, that is by using EOF, we can detect end of the file. Next, file pointers and their manipulations. File pointers and their manipulators. Under that, When we come on file input output are associated with two file pointers. One is get pointer and one more is put pointer. There are two pointers, get pointer and one more is put pointer. Whereas get pointer, it is an input pointer. Get means input purpose for reading purpose. It is an input pointer. It points to the element to be read in the next input operation and it belongs to IF stream class here. Get pointer means for reading purpose. Where exactly? Now I want to read. That exactly here it will point. Whereas put pointer, it is an output pointer. Whereas here, this pointer will tell exactly on which position. Now we have to write. That is, it points to the location where next element has to be written, where I want to write. Then it belongs to OF stream class. Get means input, put means output, get means read, whereas put means write operation. Now is it clear? These are the two types of file pointers that we are using here. Next, when we come on this, these pointers are automatically activated based on the type of operations like input and output. Automatically by itself it will going to use, automatically it will perform. There are three modes under file. It can be done. One by read only mode. It get pointer sets automatically. And write only mode. Put pointer sets automatically here. And one more is append mode. It uses few member function to manipulate get and put pointers. Now is it clear? It means that get pointer you have to remember put pointer. Whereas get pointer helps to read. Whereas put pointer helps to write purpose. Next, when we come on this file pointers, there we have seek G also. What do you mean by seek G? Especially the seek G moves the get pointer to the specified location from the beginning of the file. Consider now the file is in the beginning. Here it is there. From here to where exactly it has to move, regarding that it will tell you. It moves the get pointer, that is writing pointer. If it is seek G, there it moves the get pointer. Especially it moves the get pointer, that is reading pointer from a specified location or from the beginning to a specified location also. There are two types under this. The seek G long. How long this get pointer? 20 bytes. How much space it has to be moved? That regarding it will tell you. Whereas it moves get pointer to a specified location. Usually get pointer is present at the beginning. How many bits, how many position it has to be moved? That tell you on seek G. It will move the get pointer from the beginning to a particular position. In the long place, how much space I want, that much space we can mention. For example, F in seek G 20 if I'm going to write, then get pointer to the 20th byte in the file. Especially it will move to the 20th byte. That is the use of seek G function. And the next one, when we come on seek G, here offset as well as seek dir we have. Here it has two arguments, offset and seek director, that is seek dir. Offset indicates number of bytes get pointer is to be moved. How many bytes it has to be moved. Whereas seek dir, beginning position of get pointer, from where exactly it is starting, beginning position. Seek directory specifies three constants which decides beginning get pointer as following. That is, first one, IOS beginning, IOS current position, IOS end. Whereas in beginning, offset specified from the beginning, from that beginning only it has to be moved. Whereas current, CUR if I'm going to write, from the current position, how many bytes it has to be moved. Whereas end, IOS end here, it will move from the end, how many bytes it has to be moved. For example, F in seek G, 0 IOS beginning. That means it moves the get pointer from 0th byte. Here if I'm going to write current or beginning or end, whichever we want, we can able to mention. Whereas here if I'm going to write to 20, then it moves the get pointer to 20th byte from the file here. Now is it clear? That means seek G function helps to move the pointer. Which pointer it will move? Especially it will move the get pointer. Next one, we have seek p function. Whereas seek p function also move the pointer, especially here it will move the put pointer. Whereas in seek g, there it moves the get pointer, whereas seek p will move the put pointer. It moves the put pointer to the specified location from the beginning of the file. There are two types here also. One is seek p long here, and one more is seek p offset seek dir. It moves put pointer to the specified location. Example, fin dot seek p20, it means that 20th byte it will move. Whereas here f in seek p 0 iOS beginning, that means it will move from the 0th byte. Here 20 if I am going to write, then move put pointer to the 20th byte from the end of the file. Here which mode we are given. If I am going to write end, then from end it will move. If I am going to write from beginning, then from the beginning it will move. Next we will move on tell g function. Whereas tell g, the name itself tell you. Tell g, it will tell you where exactly the get pointer is present. That is, reading pointer is present. It belongs to IIFStream class. Once if I say tell g, that belongs to IIFStream reading means input, that is IIFStream class. It returns current position of get pointer, where exactly the get pointer is present, that position it will tell you. Whereas syntax, int position if I am going to write, then position equals fin dot tell g function. Whereas if you observe tell g, it will tell you where exactly the get pointer is present, that is reading pointer is present. Whereas tell p, the next function, here the name itself tell you where exactly the printing pointer will present, that is it belongs to OFStream class, that is for output purpose, especially here for writing purpose, and it returns current position of put pointer here. Whereas if you observe the previous case, that is there you have tell g, there it will tell you where exactly the get pointer is present, whereas tell p tell you where exactly the put pointer, that is writing pointer, printing pointer is present. The syntax for this, int position, then position equals fin dot tell p function. It will tell you where exactly the print pointer is present, that is writing pointer is present. Next we will move on the basic operations on binary file. Under this we can able to perform few operations. Searching of an element is possible, especially here searching operation is possible. Appending data we can able to perform. Inserting data is possible, and here deleting a record is possible, as well as modifying data is also possible. These are the major concepts on this chapter. Whereas on this chapter you will get the questions like what do you mean by data file handling, or what do you mean by data, what do you mean by stream, or what do you mean by input stream as well as output stream. When they come on 3 marks question, there you are going to get the questions on file modes, that is iOS in, iOS out. Regarding that you have to write, that is file modes, or input output operation in, especially text file. On that time getline as well as put function it belongs to, that syntax and example you have to write. But when they come on binary file, there read and write function you have to write. Then which are the pointers, especially here get pointer, put pointer. And another two you have to remember, that is seek g as well as tell g. Regarding that also you may going to get the questions. This completes your data file handling chapter. Next class we will meet you once again with a new chapter. Thank you for all of you.